And you he made alive, when you were dead, through the trespasses and sins in which you once walked, following the course of this world, following the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that is now at work in the sons of disobedience. Among these we all once lived in the passions of our flesh, following the desires of body and mind, and so we were by nature children of wrath, like the rest of mankind. But God, who is rich in mercy, out of the great love with which he loved us, even when we were dead through our trespasses, made us alive together with Christ. By grace you have been saved, and raised us up with him, and made us sit with him in the heavenly places in Christ Jesus, that in the coming ages he might show the immeasurable riches of his grace in kindness toward us in Christ Jesus. Ephesians 2, 1-7. Exodus 20 verse 5 talks about God inflicting punishment on those who hate him to the third and fourth generation. Does this mean each of us carries the responsibility for our father's sins and our grandfathers, great-grandfathers, etc.? No. Our sinful life choices can have terrible consequences for our children and their children for years to come. But God does not punish anyone for the sins of his parents. No one is responsible for the guilt of his fathers. Moreover, God's love reaches much further than his justice. His mercy is eternal, powerful, and perfect. It extends into the lives of even the most sinful among us and brings restoration and new meaning, with consequences that impact generations far into the future. The great love of God digs deeply into our broken hearts and empowers us to overcome the consequences of any sin that has been passed on to us that may cause us sorrow. In his mercy, we can experience new hope. As we walk the path of God's love, we can overcome the generational sin that has such a hold on our lives. Instead of allowing the consequences of the sins of our fathers to shape our identities or define our actions, we can begin a new and blessed chapter in our lives, forging a new path for those who come after us. Where have you experienced the consequences of generational sin in your life? Have you seen God's great love break the hold of past sin and put you on a new path? What was the result? How do you want to pass on God's love for you to the generations after you? Beloved, we are God's children now. It does not yet appear what we shall be, but we know that when he appears, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. 1 John 3, verse 2.